We are delighted to be joined now by Tami Miller. Tami is with Telegraph Urgent Care, and Tami checks in live via Zoom. Hey, Tami, how you doing today?
Good morning. How are you? Thank you for having us.
We are doing just fantastic, feeling well. And how about yourself? And could you tell us where you are right now?
I'm actually at my Telegraph Urgent Care right now, which is 2510 South Telegraph in West Bloomfield.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Tami, for joining us. And so we're hearing that there's more testing now. At first, you can only go to the main hospitals, and now we're seeing testing available at more locations. Can you tell us what's going on and how that's impacting your facilities?
Actually, we have 11 facilities, 11 urgent cares that is serving the community all the way from Clinton Township, West Bloomfield, Royal Oak, Oxford, Rochester, Washington, and my Elizabeth Lake location in Waterford has been testing for almost 2 months now.
And what kind of tests are they doing out there?
We are doing a simple finger poke, which checks the antibodies and checks to see if they've had present or past infection. But we also do a nasal swab for confirmation.
I'd rather get the finger. Tyler, I don't know about you, but I saw those nasal swab tests. They do not look fun at all.
No, they don't. I
No.
think I'd rather just get a little poke.
I'll take a little poke any day. Tami, are the nasal swab tests as bad as they look? I mean, we don't want to scare people, but
You know, we go out and we talk to our patients, and it's a little uncomfortable, but it's not as bad as what you think it is.
yeah, every time the
Very
doctor
quick.
says, "Hey, this is going to hurt me a lot more than it's going to hurt you."
No, it's not that
Okay,
bad.
all right.
And it's very quick.
So the antibody test, that is so cool. I'm glad to hear you're doing that. That's what everyone's looking forward to. And I'd love to hear what's happening at your facility if you can share it with us. But we're just hearing that an awful lot of people are testing positive for the antibodies, and they had no idea that they had the coronavirus at all.
That's correct. There's a lot of patients that come in that have absolutely no symptoms whatsoever. We can do the finger poke. And even if they test negative, that's why we send out the swab for confirmation. And some of the swabs do come back that they are positive for COVID.
All right. So what kind of requirements are there right now? And we'll get on to other stuff, Tami, but I'm so curious about this. And we see it reported in the news, but it's more fun to hear it right from folks that are doing it. What kind of requirements are there to have either of these tests, or can anyone get one?
Well, our criteria for our COVID patients are shortness of breath, fever, bluish lips, even some of the flu-like symptoms. We try not to get them to come into the urgent cares because we see our well patients inside. So we either have them pull up to the curbside. We do all curbside service. Provider goes out, nurse practitioner, medical assistant, myself, I'm an EMT. We go out, we pass out the paperwork, we do the finger poke, the swab, and usually they're done within 20 minutes.
So Tami Miller from Telegraph Urgent Care across Oakland County and beyond, you're testing all the folks that you're testing are people that are symptomatic, and you're giving them both tests. Is that what I'm hearing?
That's correct.
Okay, so if you're not symptomatic, you're really not getting a test. Is that the case? I know first responders can, but for the rest of us, is that the case primarily around Oakland County?
Well, even if they don't have symptoms, if they've been around loved ones that have had COVID, or if they've been in the hospital, we definitely recommend that they get tested.
All right, and how are your testing supplies working out?
Actually, my owners are medical doctors, so they order all of our COVID testing, which is the 10-minute finger poke, and we use 3 different accredited labs to send our labs to.
Well, that's incredible. So you have enough supplies to keep up with the prescriptions that your doctors are writing for tests. Is that correct?
Well, we've run into some issues with that in the past, but I think that's why we reached out to different labs. Different labs give us more supplies. We've actually reached out to even Oakland County to get us emergency PPE and emergency testing, just so we don't run out.
And Tami, the reason I'm asking this, and it's the whole focus of this entire broadcast. Because, like you, I go home, I turn on television, I see the local newscasts, I listen to the major radio stations, I watch CNN and Fox News and MSNBC and any other channel that's got news on it. And, some channels say, hey, everything's great, all the testing you need is out there. Other people say that we don't have anything and it's a crisis and the world is going to come to an end. That's why I like talking to people like you. Are the testing materials that you need for the people that absolutely have to have a test, are they available?
Right now, we've been very lucky. I've not run out of any testing supplies. We've got the flow coming in. We reach out to different people to bring the supplies in. And, I feel bad because sometimes, as you know, the media, there's a lot of scare out there. So we educate our patients. We tell them, stay home. Stay home if you're positive. We can write them a prescription here if they're not feeling well. We feel the need to reach out to our community and let people know that we're here for them. And not only the COVID, our urgent cares are still seeing people into the building, not with COVID, but sutures. We have a wellness room here that we have vitamin IVs. So we have multiple different things that we can help the community.
Well, it's really good news because a lot of people are scared. I mean, I'm sure you know it. A lot of folks, they don't want to go near a doctor's office, a hospital. If they run into a dentist, they start running right now. So, but people shouldn't be afraid. You've been able to separate those that are COVID-19 positive from other people, and it is safe to come into Telegraph Urgent Care and our other facilities. All right. So
absolutely. We have our PPE on, and we also just started a new program last week. Myself, a nurse practitioner, and a medical assistant, we travel now. We do travel COVID testing for the businesses that cannot come in and see us.
Wow. Tyler, did you hear that? House calls. We love it. So that's going to really be important. Businesses are going to need testing as they open up. So you will go to a business, test their employees. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Okay. And
absolutely.
What kind of test are you going to give them? Are you going to give them both? Or are you just going to give them the antibody test? Or what would you recommend?
No, we do both of them.
Okay.
We do both. We take our prescription pads with us in case they need medications. We do the finger poke, which checks for the antibodies, past, present, and we also do the nasal swab. And like I said, we have a nurse practitioner with us that can educate the businesses. Any questions whatsoever, what they should be doing, how the quarantine works, how many swabs that they have to have. If they do come back positive, how many swabs have to be negative before this employee can return to work.
So, Tami, your answers have been very helpful, honest, truthful, and see, this is why I like this show. And not just because I host it, and that's the main reason I like the show. But I like this show because we're just grassroots. We're getting a straight story from somebody who's doing it, not some media spin that you would see on a national television story. So let me go back and just ask you one more question, and if you can't answer it, I get it. So if you're going to businesses, a business doesn't know whether some people are sick or not. They can't know.
Correct.
So are you testing everybody in there, or how's that working?
Well, last week we visited our first facility, which was a nursing facility, and we actually had our PPE with us. We brought all the testing with us, and we have a room completely quarantined that's clean, that's safe. And yeah, some of them were kind of surprised that they did test positive.
All right. I thank you. I appreciate your answer. So that's really interesting news, and it's great you're going out to nursing homes because they definitely need it. But John Q Business on on Maple Road, somewhere in our listening area, their folks come back. Maybe the governor is going to open it up later on today, and they feel they want to just make sure they're doing everything right. They can call Telegraph Urgent Care or maybe some other facility, and it's possible that they can get them to come over and do the testing, right?
Absolutely. And again, we have 11 facilities that can reach out, help the community. We have staff on board, on call, ready to go to help our patients.
Tami, anything else you're seeing out in the community that you want to share with folks? Anything that you think that we might not be hearing elsewhere, or anything else you just want to say today?
I think even myself and my staff and some of my site leads, it has been amazing to talk to patients, listening to what they're scared of, educating them. We have patients bringing in us masks, lunches, coffees. It's been amazing. The team effort. Sometimes the patients have to wait a few minutes. They've been very patient. They've been wonderful. They just want to know that somebody's going to help them. And I'm glad that we can provide that for them.
Well, thank you very much for joining us. Thanks for all you do. Please extend our thoughts and prayers and good wishes for everyone. You guys are on the front line. You are treating people that have this disease. That is putting your own life at risk. You definitely are. You and everyone, all the other first responders and medical professionals, we salute every single one of you, and thank you for fighting this fight in this war, and thank you for your information. I learned a lot today that I've been reading everything online I could.
Thank you for the time. Thank you so much.
I learned a lot. Thank you. Tami Miller, Telegraph Urgent Care. Do you guys have a website?
We do. It is www.telegraphurgentcare.com, and we are part of My Health.
All right. Tami, thank you very much. TelegraphUrgentCare.com. Tami Miller, great to have you with us on the show today.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you very much.
Nice meeting you too. Thank you.
All right, take care.